Hello and welcome to another episode of Melbourne 22, produced by the Screen and Media Advanced Diploma students right here at the Collingwood Studios. We've got a great show in store for you guys tonight, isn't that right, Marnie?
Yes, we certainly do. We're going to go to some great places here in Melbourne and also hear from some great live musicians. Hi and welcome to our 10th episode of Melbourne 22. I'm Marnie.
And I'm Damien. On today's episode, we have a look inside the former Greenvale Sanatorium.
And for our great 10th anniversary, we are also going to have a chat with someone who lives in the Dandenong Ranges and is involved in a lot of conservation up there.
We also get to spend 60 seconds with the sound engineer.
And we're going to meet a local Melbourne guitar technician and custom guitar builder who talks about his job and what he absolutely loves about guitar building.
We also get to have a look at one of Melbourne's hidden places and have another Melbourne to Music in store for you as well.
And today on the show we have some great musicians. We've got Ash Archer and the Spitfires. They're in the studio and they're going to be playing live.
Let me just take a moment to remind you guys once more at home that if you have any questions about the show, we do have a Facebook page, so hit the like button on that because we love getting liked.
We certainly do. And recently we did have a look at one of Melbourne's haunted hotspots, the Lurundle Mental Asylum.
Yep, now we have another creeptastic segment for you guys. This time it's the former Greenvale Sanatorium.
It's a bit of a thing we've got going on here. I don't know how everyone at home likes being spooked out, but at the moment we do seem to be exploring urban paranormal investigations. And we have Erin Batu taking us on a tour of this former institution.
Let's take a look.
You know, we weren't too sure what was going on, but we didn't feel too good about it when we were walking around the area. Hi, my name is Erin Batu. I'm an urban explorer. As a hobby, I like to explore abandoned buildings, abandoned sites, anything that, I feel that might be supernatural, spiritual, or a site where most people would rather like to go. I've been to a few places such as Lurundle quite a few times. I've been to abandoned car yards and another abandoned hospital. Every time you walk into one of these places, you have this feeling where you feel like there's people that have their spirit here and their presence and that. And especially places like Lurundle now, where people have died, people have been attacked, people have been virtually tortured. You have this spiritual feeling inside that you feel like there's ghosts all around the place. So the Woodlands Historic Park has an Aboriginal cemetery that's been here for quite a while, and that adds to some of the spookiness of the area, some of the the feelings that you get when you come to Woodlands Historic Park, and it just makes you feel more fearful inside. Yeah, this general area, it's heavily filled with spirits, and I can just feel it just during this time of the day. So if I was to come back here at night, I'll definitely feel it more. It just gives you like goosebumps when you just read the headstones and that. So this is the original gate to the hospital. So this is the driveway that will take you right to the front of it. And as you can see, it's been blocked off and fenced up because it's no longer operating. So this is the part where you'll start to feel some of the spirits and some of the energy that you'll feel in this area. This is where it starts from this spot. So they've seemed to knock down every remnant of the building except for this electrical station where it appears to be. So here we are at the former site of the main building, and well, this is the area where, well, I believe I saw a ghost or a spirit of some kind, and I got this gut feeling, it would have been the former groundskeeper of the area, and it's probably one of the most spookiest experiences I've had when exploring abandoned locations. Although the Northwest Hostel has been knocked down, the place still has a menacing feel to it, and I personally believe that a lot of the spirits of the former patients still roam the grounds.
Geez, that certainly was a little creepy.
Yep, well, I'm sure I wouldn't want to be there after dark, but having said that, I know my new place for my Halloween seance.
No, definitely not after dark there, that's for sure.
Another place that's, well, the opposite of that, quite nice after dark.
Oh, really?
The Dandenong Ranges. Have you been there lately?
Yeah, actually I have. I have been up and done the 1,000 steps many a time. It's beautiful up there, just stunning. And actually, now that we are talking about the Dandenong Ranges, we've got a very special guest here today, Gary Muratore from the Dandenong Ranges himself.
Welcome to the studio today,
Hi guys,
Gary.
thanks for having me in.
That's all right.
Thanks for coming in. So, Gary, tell us about why you've become involved in the actions that are happening up at the Dandenong Ranges.
Well, there was an inappropriate fast food development, say 400 metres from my house. That basically, I felt, as with many of the people in the community, we felt that was inappropriate. So we started a campaign against that, and that's been ongoing now for 3 years. It's led to a lot of other things. It's led to the promotion of great businesses across the Dandenong Ranges. It's known for its cafe culture. We've been promoted that. There's been some wildlife issues we've raised. We've raised money for Belgrave platypus. We're doing litter surveys using technologies such as Google Maps, etc. So, what this protest has done is engage the community to protect the ranges, which is a very special place.
And what's your background in the Dandenong community? Like, how long have you been living in the Dandenong
Born and
Ranges?
bred. I was born 55 years ago at what was then the Ferntree Gully Base Hospital. It's now William Angliss. I was married some 32 years ago in the hills. Both my kids were born there. So, we grew up, they went to school there, they had part-time jobs there.
So obviously very close to your heart, the whole region.
One of the things that during the campaign is we got some Australian Bureau of Stats information, and we found that there's a very high home ownership in the Rangers community, which means that people are wedded to putting down roots, if you like.
Yeah, love living there.
Yeah, exactly. So they like to build a relationship. We also find that we're the highest percentage of volunteers in Australia. So everyone's a member of a netball club, a CFA, something like that. So when you see that sort of investure in volunteerism, it means that people really want to make their community a special place.
And obviously the Dandenong Ranges is a stunning, beautiful place for not only the community to visit, but a lot of visitors from overseas, a lot of our tourism depends on that area. So what is so special about that area, and why do we need to work harder to protect it?
Well, it's very unique. It's often seen as the lungs of Melbourne. When you consider it, it's only 55 minutes from the centre of the city. You can go up there and usually, in a hot summer's day, the temperature's, upwards of 10 degrees cooler. It's got, as I mentioned before, a special cafe culture. There's great wildlife. There's great parks to see that wildlife. So there's echidnas, there's platypuses, there's fantastic bird life. You've only got to go up to Callista, where there's a bird feeding platform in a national park there, which is fantastic.
Oh, awesome.
And people come from all over the world to see that. And I think it's a very, very special place, and it should be looked after.
And why does it need looking after? Like what's happened to that habitat over the years?
Well, I guess one of the issues we've got is geography, that we are so close to the city that you could almost say that suburbia is encroaching on us. So where do you draw the line of where the suburbs stop and where the rural part or where the forests finish this. And I think if we're not the guardians of that, we'll find that we're going to have that homogenous fast food culture work its way up into the Dandenongs, and it's no different to the cities. So it's important that we do this. And other communities around Australia have done it. The Blue Mountains community have successfully managed to do this. They're recognised as special. The Dandenongs is no different.
Yeah. And what can sort of viewers at home do to sort of help out the effort to conserve the Dandenongs at the moment?
Well, there's a couple of things. That we have a Facebook page that we ask people to get involved in it. We treat that almost like a magazine, so there's something going on there.
And what's the Facebook page
No
called?
McDonald's in the Dandenong Ranges.
Okay.
It's an easy one to find, so there's a lot happening there. They can get involved with that. If you want to just come up and visit and support some small businesses, you can download an iPhone app which is called the Burger Off Trail. Now what that will do is you can put in, I want to eat Indian, I want to eat a sandwich, I want to eat vegetarian. It will tell you where to go to the Dandenong Ranges to do that. So that supports local businesses. They haven't got the budgets, the multi-million budgets that these big corporations do that are trying to put the, if you like, the square box franchise type operations through the hills. So you can support local people to basically fight back.
Okay. Well, Gary, that's all we've got time for today. But just before you go, what is your top attraction in the Dandenong Ranges?
I would have to say the William Ricketts Sanctuary.
Okay.
William Ricketts was a gentle soul that was, I believe, traumatised by World War I. He came back and basically in his parents' cottage started making these wonderful carvings of fairies and things like that. And when he passed away, he willed the whole thing to Victorian people. So it's worth going in. It's a magical day out.
Yeah, I haven't been there before. Definitely check it out. Well, thank you again for coming in today.
Guys.
Best of luck with everything
Great.
you're involved in.
Okay.
Yes. Well, I think, Damien, it's time for us to probably head off and see that #1 attraction up at the Dandenongs.
Yeah. Let's check out some hidden places.
Indeed. But it really is so stunning there. And if you haven't done the 1,000 steps, give it a go. Although my legs are still feeling a bit sore just looking at some of those pictures.
Yeah, that reminds me of a hike I did in Year 9, so I'm already feeling a bit tired. So I'm going to have to go straight to a break. But we've got lots more for you guys when we get back.